Students, let's continue our chapter, that is lifestyle of animals. In our previous video, we have learnt about the different habitats and the different categories of the animals who live in different habitats. We have also learnt about the body coverings and the feeding habits of the animals. Which we are going to study in this video are how the animals breathe. Now, as we know that different categories of animals are present on this earth, so they have different breathing organs also. We will be discussing the fishes, insects, amphibians, birds, reptiles and the mammals. We will also discuss about the movement in land animals, aquatic animals, insects and birds. And we'll also learn about the topic migration. So let's start the video. First of all, we all know that animals and plants are the basic component of living beings. Basically, what animals and what plants give, they are interdependent on each other. Animals need oxygen to survive, which they get from the plants, and plants need carbon dioxide for the preparation of their food, which they get from the animals. So, it is basically the interdependence of the plants and the animals. They both help each other to survive in that particular environment. Animals need oxygen, which they get from the plants, and plants need carbon dioxide, which they get from the animals. All terrestrial animals take oxygen from the atmosphere, while the aquatic animals take oxygen dissolved in the water. We'll discuss this separately. Let's start. Fishes. Now you all know that fishes live in water, and different categories of fishes are present inside the water. Now, from where does the fish get the oxygen? What are the breathing organs for the fish? Let's study. Aquatic animals like fish, crab and oyster, tadpole breathe through their gills. So, what is the breathing organ for the fishes? That is the gills. Water flows over the gills. The flaps of the gills absorb oxygen from water and carbon dioxide is released into the water. This is the process by which the fishes breathe. You can see in the picture that the gills are shown clearly on a fish body. So, the gills are supplied with the blood vessels, and when water flows over the gills, the flaps absorb oxygen from the water and release carbon dioxide in water only. So, fishes breathe with the help of which organ? That is the gills. Now, which is the breathing organ for insects? Let's study. Insects breathe through the air holes on their body called as spiracles. Yes, the breathing organ for the insects is called as spiracles, which are the air holes. Their blood does not contain hemoglobin to transport the oxygen. Then the question should arise, then how will the entire body will get the oxygen? They have a fine network of air tubes that reach every part of their body. So instead of hemoglobin, they have a fine network of air tubes which supply the oxygen to the entire body of the insects. These tubes deliver the required quantity of oxygen to every part of the body and bring back carbon dioxide to be released through the spiracles. So what is the use of the air tubes? They carry the oxygen to different parts of the body of the insect and then bring the carbon dioxide from the body organs and are released through the spiracles. You can see in the picture that spiracles are shown on an insect body. They are basically the air holes and called as spiracles. Amphibians. I know that you all are aware of this term. Amphibians are the animals that can live both on land and in water. Example, frog. Frog is an amphibian. An adult frog breathes through the lungs when on the land and through the skin when in water. Yes, the frog breathes with two organs. When on land, they breathe through lungs, and when the adult frog is in water, it breathes through its skin. A tadpole, that is the young baby of the frog, breathes through its gills only. But when it becomes an adult frog, they have two body organs for the land. That is, they are called as amphibian. We all know that. On land with lungs and when in water with the skin. The exchange of gases takes place like this. They take oxygen inside and carbon dioxide are released. Birds, reptiles and mammals. They all have the same breathing organ. You all know that mammals are those who give birth to the young ones. So let's study about them. All terrestrial animals like birds, reptiles and mammals breathe through their lungs. They have richly supplied with blood vessels and the exchange of gases takes place through the which body organ? Lungs. Oxygen from the inhaled air dissolves into the blood and is supplied to all parts of the body. Similarly, carbon dioxide from the blood is absorbed by the lungs from where it passes into the air. This is a basic explanation that how the human's respiratory system works. Movement in land animals. Now, different animals have different types of body structures for their movement. You must have seen that animals move in search of food, shelter, breeding places and for the protection. So different animals have different body organs for the movement. First of all, let's talk about how do the land animals move. We all know that all the land animals have four limbs. They have two limbs at the front which are called as the forelimbs and the two animals at the back called as the hind limbs. The two front part are called as the forelimbs, F-O-R-E, forelimbs, and the two back are called as the hind limbs. Some of the mammals use all the four limbs to walk, while some move only with their hind pair. Their forelimbs or hands can hold several things and help to do work. Movement in aquatic animals. Now, how do the aquatic animals move? They do not have the forelimbs or the hind limbs. Let's study that what do they do for their movement. Fishes have fins to swim in water. What is the movement? How do the aquatic animals move? With the help of the fins. They have two paired fins which help them to move forward, and the unpaired fins help them to maintain the balance and to change their direction of the movement. So basically, fins are present on the fish body to move in the water. Turtles have paddle-like forelimbs and hind limbs which help them to push water back and move forward. Penguins also have the forelimbs which are modified into flippers which help them to swim. Yes, penguins' forelimbs, that is the front two limbs, are modified into the flippers. So this is how the aquatic animals move. Insects have 6 legs for the movement. Ant and cockroach crawl with the help of their legs. And you can see in the picture that they crawl with the help of their legs and they have 6 legs. Grasshoppers and locusts use their strong and long hind limbs for hopping. Some flying insects have wings to fly. Their forelimbs are modified into the wings. Yes, those are insects who can fly. Their forelimbs, that is the front two limbs, are modified into the wings. Birds. We all know that birds have wings to fly, and the wings are the modified form of the forelimbs, that is the front two limbs. They have a streamlined body with hollow bones. Some birds like ostrich, kiwi, penguin are called as flightless birds because they have weak wings and large body. You can see in the picture that the bird is having the hind limbs, but the forelimbs are modified in the form of wings. And the next picture is of ostrich, which is a bird, but it cannot fly because its body is large and they have weak wings. So they are called as the flightless birds. You can see in the beautiful background that a huge and mass movement of the different categories of birds, animals move from one place to another. That is called as migration. The mass movement of animals and birds in search of favorable conditions is called migration. The animals migrate by walking, flying, swimming, hopping, and any other form can also be there. But why do they? Escape from the unfavorable weather in search of food and to search for a favorable breeding places. Every year they migrate. That is, the animals travel from one place to another. Let's study some of the animals who migrate. Birds. Siberian crane, mallard ducks, and Arctic terns are the example of migratory birds. You can see in the picture. Siberian cranes and mallard ducks come to India every winter to breed. The Arctic terns make longest migration in every winter from the Arctic Circle to the Antarctic Circle, and then they are back again. These migratory birds fly in large flocks to avoid any danger during the journey. They do not fly alone. They fly in large flocks. They all fly together so that no harm should be there. So this is an example of migratory birds. Migratory fish. Salmon, the fish of the northern waters, lives in seawater but travels a long distance to reach freshwater river to lay eggs. Yes, its young ones travel back to the sea. The movement of the fish in fresh water also occurs often. The fish swims in the upper river to lay the eggs. Salmon just move to lay the eggs in the fresh water, and then it comes back. You can see in the picture that they all are moving together. Migratory insects. Monarch butterflies and locusts are the examples of the migratory insects. Monarch butterflies migrate from Canada to Mexico during winters and comes back in summer. Locusts are very harmful as they destroy the standing crops. We have seen that they fly together and destroy the crops. So this was about the topic migration, where we learnt about the migratory birds, migratory fish and the migratory insects. Thank you and have a nice day.